In a frantic rush, Chu Yuncheng sealed the talisman onto the crossbow. Using his fourth-dimensional consciousness, he communicated with the energy through the mysterious connection created by the crossbow. He drew the bowstring, loaded an arrow, and aimed through a small window opening. With his heart pounding, Chu Yuncheng nervously aimed at the scarlet beetles moving below. During his idle time, Chu Yuncheng had practiced shooting targets with this high-end, highly precise crossbow he had spent over 3,000 yuan on. Though he wasn't very experienced, he wasn't a complete novice either. Despite this, his first shot missed. Not only did it miss, but the ice arrow with its freezing properties also failed to activate because he was too nervous. The speed of the 3 scarlet beetles was far beyond human capability. In an instant, they caught up with the fleeing crowd, cruelly seizing those lagging behind. Chu Yuncheng's arrow, which posed no threat, was completely ignored by these proud scarlet beetles. As Chu Yuncheng shakily prepared his second arrow, the cries of the crowd were already reaching the base of his building. About 11 to 12 people were still running, while 5 others had already met their end at the pincers of the 3 scarlet beetles. In the crowd, his neighbor from the 10th floor was fumbling with trembling hands, unable to unlock the security door. The scarlet beetles, closing in again, pierced a fat man's body with their razor-sharp legs and tossed him into the air like a toy. Chu Yuncheng had little confidence in hitting moving targets. However, he was confident in hitting a giant monster within 30 meters that had stopped moving. Taking a deep breath, he locked onto the arrogant scarlet beetle. Swish! The ice arrow, infused with the chill of heaven and earth, sped forward. The piercing sound of the arrow alerted the scarlet beetle, making it glance at Chu Yuncheng's window. But it was too late. The arrow, enhanced by the energy, easily penetrated the scarlet beetle's fiery defensive shield and plunged into its body. The freezing energy from the arrow made the scarlet beetle scream in agony. Even the other 2 beetles, busy extracting brain matter from humans, looked up curiously at their screaming companion. The ice arrow quickly unleashed its terrifying power. Despite the fire attribute within the scarlet beetle putting up a desperate resistance, it was soon entirely frozen. Is it dead or not? Chu Yuncheng was unsure about the power of the ice arrow, as he had never used it before. Seeing the scarlet beetle frozen like an ice sculpture, he couldn't be sure. He quickly prepared his third arrow, feeling much less panicked with the experience of the first 2. The previously desperate crowd suddenly witnessed this turn of events. The terrifying monsters, which moments ago seemed like demonic fiends, were now turned into ice sculptures by an unknown arrow, relieving the immediate threat. It was like a drowning man grabbing onto a straw, igniting their survival instinct. A middle-aged man snatched the keys from the trembling hands of the man from the 10th floor and calmly opened the door. The dozen people rushed inside, collapsing in the stairway, staring blankly at the frozen scarlet beetle and the few mutilated bodies. In the faint light, these people, having narrowly escaped death, stared at each other in bewilderment. The middle-aged man who opened the door remained somewhat calm and said, "Hurry, go upstairs. There are still 2 more outside." "Yes, upstairs, there's an expert up there who just shot and killed the monster. With an expert around, we should be safe. Did anyone see which floor the shot came from? Who had the guts to look? Did you see?" "No." Everyone spoke at once, unwilling to linger, and quickly climbed upstairs. Chu Yuncheng was about to shoot the second scarlet beetle when he noticed out of the corner of his eye that the frozen one was still twitching, trying to break free from the ice. His mind raced, he couldn't let it revive. Killing one meant 1 less threat. The other 2 were already on the move, and he wasn't confident in hitting moving targets. Rather than waste another shot, he decided to finish off the frozen one. Without hesitation, the third arrow was fired at the frozen scarlet beetle. The ice arrow shattered its shell, breaking it into countless icy fragments. The remaining 2 beetles, enraged by their companion's death, screeched furiously, discarding the human heads they were feeding on, and rushed towards the building. One began destroying the door with its pincers, while the other quickly scaled the wall towards Chu Yuncheng's 6th floor window. Have they discovered me? Chu Yuncheng wasn't nervous this time. Instead, he felt a sense of resolve. It's either you die or I die. With the weak light from the street lamps and the burning fire from explosions, Chu Yunsheng clearly saw the two furious beetles through the crossbow's infrared scope. The fourth arrow hit the climbing beetle dead on, freezing it in place. Chu Yunsheng intended to take his time with the fifth arrow, planning to freeze the beetle attacking the door first, then finish them off one by one. However, after loading the fifth arrow, he noticed the beetle attacking the door was gone. From his vantage point, he couldn't see if the door had been breached or if the beetle had moved elsewhere. Having no choice, Chu Yunsheng decided to kill the frozen beetle in front of him first and then retreat inside. Every 2 arrows could completely kill one scarlet beetle. If the military knew about this, he would have been recruited as a major force. Ordinary guns were ineffective against these beetles with their protective shields. Securing the window, Chu Yunsheng loaded the 6th arrow. He now didn't know where the last beetle was and waited with his crossbow ready, leaning against the wall to react to any sign of the beetle. He realized that his internal energy was almost depleted. Except for the first arrow, which he fired nervously without using energy, each of the following 4 arrows consumed a lot of his internal energy. Calming down, he was shocked to find that he could only fire 1 more ice arrow before his energy ran out. He had been too careless earlier, thinking he could kill all 3 beetles with 6 ice arrows. He now realized that his limit was 5 arrows. If the beetles recovered faster than he did, he would stand no chance. He needed to restore his internal energy quickly. He believed that his reinforced doors and windows could hold off the beetle for a while. With his modified handgun and the fire rain talisman he was confident he could kill the last beetle once it was frozen. The room was empty except for essential furniture. Everything else was stored in the storage talisman. Sitting on the table in the living room, Chu Yunsheng focused on restoring his energy while listening intently to his surroundings. "Bug! The monster is coming up!" someone shouted in the hallway. Chu Yunsheng jumped off the table. The last scarlet beetle was indeed coming up through the hallway. The question was whether to go out and shoot the beetle in the hallway or wait for it to come to his door and shoot it then. Not being a military strategist or a combat expert, Chu Yunsheng couldn't quickly analyze the pros and cons. He needed time to think, but the beetle's speed left no room for hesitation. He heard someone hurriedly running up the stairs past his door. With the elevator out of service due to the power outage, people could only use the stairs. Chu Yunsheng made the boldest decision of his life. He opened the door, stood in the living room, and set up his crossbow on the table. Calmly, he aimed at the hallway entrance, determined to shoot and freeze the monster the moment it appeared. This was his only chance.